If she's coming into your space already, this is a problem that can happen. She's coming into your space already, it's already there. What does she need to move on? What's happening, guys? Martin Martinez back again. Welcome to Lifestyles Journey. In today's video, we're discussing about why you also need to make space for this other person, for your lady. And this is the reason why. So, something not to forget, something I've learned along the way. A lot of ladies actually want someone they can work on. They don't want someone who is necessarily the finished article. Now, I know people say they look for you at the finish line and everything else like that. Yes and no. Reason being, so it depends where you are in your life. See, I don't know why this is going off. Depending on where you are in your life and also the age that you're at. So I'm obviously in my mid-30s and I'm going to talk about my experience at this point in time. However, if you're in your 20s, it's a little bit different. So when you're both in your 20s, let's say for example you're in university, you meet this person, let's say 21, 22, roughly around that age group. And you're kind of both at the same level in some respects, in the sense of you're both still probably doing your degrees, or you're just getting into some type of apprenticeship or whatever it may be. You're still at the development stage. So you're both kind of growing and developing together. Compared to someone in my stage now, where let's say you're in your mid-30s going into your 40s, whatever it may be, you kind of already established to some extent in what you kind of would already need to do. You'd already have your routine, you'd already have your probably way of working, you'd have your way of you know, doing your weekly sort of, you know, activities, whatever you need to do. Your social life as well, if you have a social life, you'll kind of already have those things in place. Doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna have a lot of friends, but you'd already have a structure is the key thing. Now, if you're in your 30s and you meet a lady, and let's say she's like in her mid-20s upwards, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but what can she add to your life that you can't already do yourself? Beyond obviously a female companion, what else is there? So if you make it so it's so difficult to actually have any space that she can't influence you, you know, what she says, you don't really need to take on board because you're already fully aware of what you need to do and how life works for you already, for you to be in your position that you're in. In a way, there's nothing she can add there. So let's say from a home perspective, you've already got your own place, for example. You know, what can she bring there to the table in that respect? Probably very little. So all beyond maybe sort of like attending to the house, maybe cooking you some food and everything else like that, maybe even giving you company to some extent. Not saying that you as a guy, you need to artificially allow gaps, but what you need to be very conscious of, not to the point that you have everything so set that she could say this, she could say that, she could try and give you some type of advice, and you just don't take it on board because you've already got everything else in place. You don't really need to have her tell you what to do. You know, I think sometimes, guys, and I think you can also do this with your parents as well, depending on how things go. Sometimes you kind of need to artificially act as if you don't know the answer to something, or you can also allow space for them to answer it and you go with their answer. Even if you know it may not be 100%, you go with their answer, because I think from what I've seen in my own experience, a lady kind of wants to be able to, as I say, invest in a guy in such a way that she has to bring him up. It's not that he's already there. If you're meeting ladies that you're already there and they just think you want to hop on board, I don't really know if that's the type of person that really is truly invested in you. I think they're just there for the ride. But a lady that actually wants to make you a better guy, you know, increase your knowledge, increase your awareness, make you, you know, move from A to B together, is ultimately what it should be about. And again, age shouldn't really be a factor too much in it, but I can see the differences between someone who's a little bit older, who's got more life experience, compared to someone who's younger. This younger person may not necessarily have that much to offer and give for you to develop even further if you're, say, in your 40s plus. So it may be pretty difficult. They're going on board, they're going on top of your type of program. So with that in mind, guys, you need to also, as I say, allow the opportunity for this person to be heard, allow the opportunity for this person to put their points forward. Try not to dismiss it. I've made a mistake of doing this in the past as well. Try not to dismiss it and be understanding as to what they have to say. Take on board what they have to say, and where possible, where there is space, I hope this is resonating with you guys, because, you know, it is an important point, but where there is space, allow them to come into that space to create something within that space, even though it's within your type of remit and how your routine is. Allow them to do something. And it may mean times where, not to something which would be maybe, say, financially a detriment, but there'll be times when you know maybe what they're saying isn't quite correct. Don't just disregard them. Allow them to put their point forward, hear them out, and if it's something that's not going to work, you could say, well, for this reason, for that reason, maybe it may not be ideal. But at the same time, you know, that being said, it's very important that you allow that person to be heard, you allow that person time to express themselves, because, you know, realistically, when you're in a relationship, it's kind of two people meeting together. So I'm not talking about someone that you just meet just for a hookup and anything else like that. But if you want to build something, you do need to allow that space for them to come into and allow that space for them to create. So whether it mean from, you know, let's say you live in your own place in there, wherever they are, usually most couples will go and get somewhere together and allow the other person, or the guy may allow the lady to do a little bit more in respect of work, in respect of the house, to have it sort of decorated in a way that they want, so they have that space. If she's coming into your space already, this is a problem that can happen. She's coming into your space already, it's already there. What does she need to move around? What does she need to change? There may be something she could do, but next thing you know, some guys be like, don't move this, I like it that way, and everything else like that. And what you can find is you've got this wall up straight away before anything has happened. Most ladies want to put their mark in the guy's place. They want to have some type of imprint in the guy's place, some type of influence. And if you don't allow for that, guys, probably you're not really thinking, you know, long term, it's gonna be detrimental to you, I'm sure. Trust me. So think about that, guys. Ladies do want an opportunity to help a guy improve. If you've already got everything in place, I know people say they want to see a guy at the finish line, but I don't agree with that position. If a lady's just trying to get you at the finish line, then realistically, what is she there for? What is she adding to your life at that point in time? So even from yourself, you want to meet somebody who is going to help push you up in that, you know, get to the next level in your own way. I can't talk on other people. I'm going to probably cut the video on that one. Let's cut it on that point. And then, guys, yeah, on to the next video. Peace out.